What a magnificent day for the Magnificent Seven. Pretty much everything else sold off. At least the leading growth stocks have been selling off this week. Welcome to my daily review. Today is December 10th, a Tuesday. And you can see the Nasdaq, pulling back again today, another 50 points, 0.25%, with 5% above the average daily volume. So not a distribution day, as it wasn't as much volume as Monday, but still a pullback. And if you're in the leading growth stocks, you're really getting hammered. I'm going to get to that in a minute because that's what I trade and that's what I like to buy and sell. And right now they're just being, profit taking all over the place here in those names, and I said I will get to those. But first, I'm going to start with the index and the Magnificent Seven because that's what's driving the market. Excuse me, the Nasdaq and the indexes because they're so large. Even with the Nasdaq down today, this is masking some of the real damage underneath the surface that we're seeing here. I'm going to have to go to yellow. I mean, if you trade growth stocks, you have to protect your capital. You have to be cautious. Growth stocks are like, hand grenades. They're going to blow up. You just don't want to be holding them in your hand when they do. And they're really starting to show weakness now. We gauge the market by how the market leaders perform, and I'm going to show you some of these names here that are just getting smacked around. So, yeah, I don't think the markets are real healthy right now, even though the pullback doesn't look like much on the index. The Magnificent Seven is kind of masking the weakness. Underneath the surface, you can see the Nasdaq was down, and now it's 5.5% above its rising 50, which is the red line here. Um, I just, the Nasdaq can be healthy, and I think it's going to go higher, but you got to be in the right, leading Magnificent Seven stocks to participate right now because that's what's cooking this week. Definitely a rotation there, change of character in the market once again, which is expected. I just didn't know it was going to the Magnificent Seven stocks. Anyway, the SPY, pretty similar action here to the NASDAQ. This is 2.7% above the 50. It was down 0.31%, still above that, well, on the S&P 500, the 6,000 level. There it is, 6,034. And then the Dow Jones Industrial Average, it got up to 45 last week, and now it got rejected there and kind of pulled back here to its 21 today. Closed just a tick above the 21 there at 44,247. And then the Russell 2000, I'll just go to the IWM, pull back to its 21, down 0.43% today. So I was going to say, this is a profit taking is expected, pullbacks are expected. But like I say, you got to look at the leading stocks in the market to gauge the strength of the market. I'm going to go to stocks right now as Apple. It's been up like 8 days in a row or new highs. Obviously it wasn't up this day. Okay, let's call it 8 out of 9 or something like that. Anyway, broke out of the base and trending higher. So that's not bearish. I mean, when Apple, largest stock in the market, is making new highs, that's not bearish at all. So, yeah, if you own Apple, then, life is good. Microsoft looks really good here. It was up today. I guess it pulled back. Let's take a look at this little okey doke in the morning. Sure was. Looked like it was going to rally here and then sold off, the rest of the afternoon. So, yeah. I'm a little skeptical of the market right here. Just briefly, yeah, this pullback, you don't know how long it's going to last. So you got to wait for the bounce here in some of these names. This is Google. They announced Willow today. The quantum computing got a nice breakout. Textbook cup with handle pattern here broke out above that 182.49. I believe this one had a little okey doke shake and bake in it as well. Yeah, ripped higher. Looked like it was just going to keep ramping, and then whoop, profit taking came in, and then it closed near the the high of the day there. As you can see, the close was a high volume close, which was what we like. Let me see here. 78% of the daily range. Pretty good because the NASDAQ, if I got to go back to the NASDAQ here because I got to make a point. on the 5 minute chart. Yeah, see it opened up higher, looked like it was going to ramp today and sold off into the close. We saw this yesterday, the same phenomenon, this weak closes. That's not bullish. That's pretty bearish action there. Monday and Tuesday of this week. So just pointing that out, that life is not all great here on the index this week. Meta platforms, yeah, just a flat day today. Flat is good when the Nasdaq's down. You can see it's just hovering around that 603 area. I believe it'll pull back there one day this week or next week and give us a chance to get in. Definitely watching for that because you want to be in these mega cap names. Amazon, I believe it pulled back today as well. Yeah, 0.5%, not a big deal. And then Tesla, Tesla and Apple, two of the strongest stocks here in the Mag 7. The Tesla probably the stronger one here. Now it got rejected at 400 yesterday on Monday, and then today, I go to the 5 minute chart. Today blasted through there. Here it is on Monday where it rallied up to 400 and then got rejected, closed lower. Today it rallied up, played a little teeter-totter and closed above there. So that's a positive for Tesla. And it looks, if I go to the weekly chart here, sorry for going through all these different time frames, but I just want to point out this 414.50 here. This is going to be taken out. It looked like it was going to do it today, but it'll do it, eventually. It's been one of the strongest stocks since the election, November 5th. Today is, by the way, the 10th. So we only have 3 more weeks left of 2024, and we'll be moving on to 2025. The market's looking ahead to 2025. Last 3 weeks, everybody's hoping for a Santa rally. We'll see. And then the last one's NVIDIA. NVIDIA's kind of been stalling here. Sliced its 50 today. Got that antitrust news from China yesterday and doesn't look good. So yeah, a lot of weakness in the market. I'm going to go through some of the earnings names from last night and this morning. Here's Oracle slicing its 50. Man, yeah, not good for Oracle. Yeah, it was around that 180 level. I thought it would hold, but it sliced right through there today. So adios, muchachos, for Oracle. MDB, MongoDB had a brutal day, down 17%. Now below the 300 level, so not good action there. AI had the old okey doke little whipsaw action there and ended up just flat. Man, talk about a roller coaster ride. Here it is. Open lower and then started ramping. Looked like it was going to have a massive day today, and then just sold off into the close. And it was flat on this session. So just a wild, earnings response. And you could see that big bar there. Yeah, not tight trading there from AI at all. UNFI, the food stock. Yeah, nice move here. Breakout with volume. That's a move not to be ignored for United Natural Foods. OLLI had another nice move, broke out of that box area, the little Darvis box, if you will. Some people were teasing me online. The Darvis box breakout. So what's in the box? I don't know, but it's got that blue um, RS strength, relative strength, the blue dot, which indicates strength in the market. Obviously, when the market's going sideways and actually pulling back and this thing's blasting 13% higher, that's relative strength. You don't need a blue dot to tell you that. And then ASO. ASO was up today, 4.3%, not bad. All right, I'm going to move on to I told you that we gauge the market by the market leaders and how they're responding. And AAPL has been a market leader for a while now, and it is selling off, and the selling is not stopping. Because if you want to buy, if you're on the outside of AAPL and looking in, you're going, great, man. I'm just going to wait for this thing to maybe it'll bounce here at the 21. Maybe it'll come back to the 50. I don't know, but I'm gonna wait for the bounce and not bouncing quite yet. App 11 selling off pretty hard there. At the 21, Palantir selling off as well, but this one is still above the 10, so it's a lot more tame, more controlled selling than App 11. Datadog has seen quite a bit of selling. The software names Slice is 10 today, the Datadog did. They had a offering, and then Monday has been weak. Slice to 50, Snowflake, all these software names just getting hit. So it's a change, change of character in the market. It likes the Magnificent Seven names, and it doesn't like software. It doesn't like the energy stocks either. The electrical power group. This is Vistra, down another 4.5% today. Maybe it'll bounce off the 50. You got to wait for the bounce. You don't know how long the selling's going to last, and how low it can go. But I know not to get in the way of selling like this because, like I say, it could slice to 50, it could pull back all the way to the 200, come back to that old buy point. You don't know. So, yeah, I'm just watching here that when this selling might subside. CEG Constellation, this was sold off before and now traded up to the 50 and has been rejected by the 50, that moving average. So if you're interested in shorting something, when that thing comes up to the 50 and gets rejected, that's where you want to short it. Talon, I'm not interested in shorting, even though the market's been weak the last couple of days. Talon Energy, TLN, below the 21 today, no bueno. GEV, I'll have more on this later. Yeah, sliced to 21 today. So that sector is not doing well. Carpenter, another leading stock, just selling off here. They're just hitting these stocks that have a lot of profits to take. They're taking profits in them. MicroStrategy is another one. I think it was actually up today, but man, this thing's pulled back to the 21. Lots of folks are expecting it to be added to the QQQ on Friday, and that didn't happen for Apple Oven. It had a tantrum and sold off, so I'd be careful there. With MicroStrategy, some other ones, CAVA in the restaurant retail group has really been hit. Now it's below the 50. That's been a leader for a long, long time. So there's profits to be taken here. I believe the Sweet Range doing the kind of the same thing. Yeah, selling off. Shake Shack, not to the same extent. Yeah, just pull back to the 10. Not bad. Shake Shack actually looks pretty good compared to the rest of them. All right, let's move on. Oh, Lilly had a news today. Still nothing burger. Nothing can get this thing going at all. I know that the Robert Kennedy being named head of HHS has got the drug stocks kind of stalled right now because he's kind of a wild card. Don't know what's going to happen. Novo, just since the Catalent deal, this thing can't get out of its own way. Hims and Hers, HIMS sold off today as well. This one has been a pretty strong stock, down more than 5%. I think they were saying that once Catalent, once Novo and Lilly get their drugs off the restrained list when they're supply constrained, it's going to hit like 10% of this revenue here in Hims and Hers. So I'd be careful there. With that one, the home builders have just been sick as a dog. I don't see 2025 being really good for these ones either. Um, yeah, so market's looking ahead, not liking the home builder stocks. Poe Brothers, no sir. Taylor Morrison Homes, no sir. And below the 50 on those, so not looking good. All right, I don't want to get too negative. My boomer theme is still in play. This is Alaska Airline. They raised expectations for 2025 this morning. Man, the stock responded nicely. Nice 13% move. And people are flying about the country or flying around the world using Alaska Airlines. So good for them. CCL, this is Carnival Cruise. This one's still looking pretty good. Norwegian Cruise Lines. The airlines, cruise lines, still looking pretty good. This one sliced its 21 yesterday. Had a decent day today. What else we got? MMYT. This is a booking, uh, leisure travel booking based in India, making a new high today. So, yeah, hit and miss here on the market. Retail sales numbers were pretty decent today. Deckers, nice cup with handle breakout, pulled back to the 10, found support. So Deckers looks really strong, really nice looking chart there. For Deckers, the dentist, DDS, Dillard's. I want to say it make a new high today, but it didn't make a new high today. No, 470.56, and this is 472, 476. So, but looking good here, consolidating in the base, had a nice strong move of 6.5%. So the dentist is doing well. And BJ Wholesale, this one broke out. I believe this is an earnings move, pulled back to the 10. And that's what you look for, pull back to the 10 in a couple of days of bouncing, you could trade that. So anyway, that's what I'm looking for on these pullbacks, some of these names. DXPE. This is a machinery group, pumps tied to the oil and gas industry too. Made a new high today. So DXPE looks good. Another machinery stock Badger meter broke out today, so that looks pretty good. Nice kind of a standard buy point there at 229, closed at 234.70. So nice job for BMI. A couple other ones. NARI. This is a medical product stock breaking out of a stage one base here. You can see the cup with handle. Believe this has been been down so long as Jim Morrison trade. They're trying to break out of that stage one base there, NARI. So keep an eye on that one. BLCO. This is a spinoff from Bosch and Lomb. This is Bosch and Lomb. What am I talking about? Let's take a look at the weekly chart here. Upward volume today, still trying to break out. Yeah, it's an IPO from 2022. Not bad, Bosch and Lomb. And then SRRK, I tell you, this one shows up on my list every day. Made a new high today, then pulled back. NBIS sold off yesterday and then bounced a little bit today. QUBT, these are the quantum computing stocks. Made a high here and then came back a little bit. SERV popped here with volume. They had news that they made a deal with NVDA. I guess NVIDIA was supporting them. It really ramped to 24 back in July, and now it's just been kind of stalling here in the last couple of sessions, up on volume. All right. I think that's it. Oh, no, I have a couple more. Computer software and medical, IPO, ran up from this IPO base, consolidated, ran up. Now it's making another base here. This one looks pretty good, up 4.5% today. And then CLPT, ClearPoint, breaking out of this base here. That looks pretty darn good. Medical systems equipment stock. Yeah, it's been consolidating for a bit, Stage one base here, ran up, consolidated. Looks pretty darn good for ClearPoint. Nice 13% move. And and then I've got to mention QURE, which had this is why people get enamored with biotech stocks, because they have the ability to go, double in a day. So it was a trial news, I believe, where QURE bounced. Okay, so anyway, that's it for me. I mean, kind of a tough day. I'm gonna have to go do some more homework, and the leading stocks are selling off, so you just got to be defensive. For me, that's my play right now. Just to get rid of them, trim down. Just don't let your profits get eaten away. If you had AppLovin at 90 or 100 or even 200 here, you can't let it come back in. Don't let those turkeys escape your turkey trap. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Except for in honor of the great Steve Jobs, I always have one more thing. Dave and Buster's reported tonight. They missed on all metrics, down 10%. So not good for PLAY. Play is a ticker symbol, Dave and Buster's. General Motors announced they're out of the the EV business, or robo-taxi, I should say. The robo-taxi is not their gig. So the stock's going up on that announcement, 3.5%. So they're using their money is a little more wisely, I guess you would say. And I got to look at Tesla or after hours. With that news, I would imagine Tesla would be up $3. Not bad. And then GEV after hours announced a dividend, and the market is selling off. It's got a gap to fill here at 316.45. So I guess you could say it filled in after hours. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But yeah, stocks gapped up on 11/6 of November 6th. It's been above that gap area. a 316.45, and now it wants to come. So since the election, it's been strong, but now it's going to pull back tomorrow and probably, fill that gap. Anyway, that's it. Like I said, these growth stocks, they're great, when they're trending, but when a binge at the end, you got to get rid of them. You cannot hang on to them. They'll destroy your portfolio. And so I'm not playing that game. I'll let somebody else handle those because you're just getting too beat up in those names, and it's not worth it for me. When it starts getting hard with growth stock, I tend to just not play or play really small because it should be a little easier than what it's been the last couple of days. So anyway, that's it for me at mcstockcharts.com. We never give up. Thank you for watching.